Have you ever forgiven someone and meant it? You said the words, you felt the weight lift. You honestly wanted to move on. And then, weeks later, months later, maybe years later, the memory came back. Not as anger, just as a quiet fact. Sitting in the room, and you wondered if something was wrong with you. You thought, if I really forgave them, why do I still remember it so clearly? Why does my body still tense when the moment replays? Nothing is wrong with you. Forgiving and forgetting were never the same thing. They are not even done by the same part of you. And once you understand why, you will stop asking yourself to do something the human mind was never built to do. We use the phrase forgive and forget like it is one action. It is not. It is two systems, and they have two different jobs. Forgiveness is a decision. It happens in the part of you that loves, the part that weighs the whole relationship against the single wound and decides the relationship is worth more. Forgiveness says, I will not make you pay for this anymore. Memory is not a decision. Memory is a security system, and you do not get to vote on what it keeps. The job of memory is not fairness. The job of memory is prediction. Your mind keeps a record of everything that ever hurt you, for one reason only, so it can see it coming next time. This is why painful memories are stored differently than ordinary ones. Researchers have found that emotionally charged events are encoded more deeply and recalled more vividly than neutral ones. Your brain highlights them on purpose, not to torture you, to protect you. So when you forgive someone and the memory stays, that is not a failure of forgiveness. That is your security system saying, I heard you. We are at peace. But I am still keeping the file. The heart closes the case. The mind keeps the record. Both of them are doing their jobs. Now you might ask a fair question. If I am truly safe now, why can I not just delete the file? Because your memory learned its rules a very long time ago, in a world where forgetting was fatal. Imagine an early human who ate from a poisonous bush, got sick, survived, and then forgot which bush it was. That human does not get a second lesson. The humans who survived, the ones we are all descended from, were the ones whose minds refused to let go of pain. One bad experience, remembered forever, was the whole education. Your memory still runs on those rules. It treats betrayal exactly like the poisonous bush. It does not care that the person apologized. It does not care that they changed. It quietly keeps the mark, because from the security system's point of view, the cost of remembering is a little discomfort, and the cost of forgetting could be everything. This is also why you cannot forget on command. Try it right now. Pick a painful memory and order yourself to erase it. You cannot. In fact, trying to suppress a memory tends to make it stronger, because you have to hold it in your mind to push it away. You are asking the guard to burn the only map of where the danger was. The guard will never do it. And honestly, you should be glad, because the same system that will not let you forget betrayal is the system that will not let you forget your mother's voice, or the way your child laughed at 3 years old. Memory keeps everything that ever mattered. It does not sort by pleasant, it sorts by important. Here is where the pattern gets bigger. Groups of humans have memory too. Families, communities, entire nations, and they follow the exact same rule. They can forgive, they cannot forget. Think of your own family. Somewhere in it, there is probably a story that gets retold at every gathering. An old wrong, a betrayal from before you were born. The people involved may have made peace decades ago. Some of them may be gone, but the story remains, because the family's security system keeps the file the same way yours does. Nations do this on a massive scale. Countries sign peace treaties, reopen trade, exchange ambassadors. That is forgiveness. The decision to stop making the other side pay. But then those same countries build monuments. They write the wound into textbooks. They hold remembrance days. That is memory. The file that never gets deleted. Look at Iran and the United States. Ask an American when the trouble began, and you will usually hear about 1979 and the hostage crisis. Ask an Iranian, and you may hear about 1953, when a coup backed by foreign powers removed Iran's elected prime minister. Two nations, one relationship, two different files in two different security systems, each one kept for the same reason yours is, so it never happens again. Once you see this, the world stops looking irrational. Nations that stay wary a century after a war are not being dramatic. They are doing exactly what you do when you forgive someone and still keep one eye open. Which brings us to the real question of this video. Is it possible to truly forget? The honest answer is no, not by choice. The file stays, but here is what the research on forgiveness actually shows, and it is better news than forgetting. The memory does not stay the same. When people genuinely forgive, the memory remains, but its power changes. It gets recalled less often. It arrives with less heat. The body stops reacting to it like an alarm. Psychologists describe it as the difference between a memory that gives orders and a memory that gives information. An unhealed memory gives orders. Avoid them. Stay angry. Guard the door. A healed memory gives information. That happened. It was real. Proceed with wisdom. Same file, different job. So stop measuring your healing by whether you still remember. You will always remember. You are supposed to. Measure your healing by a different question. When the memory shows up, does it still decide what you do next? If the answer is no, you are not broken. You are done. And if someone once hurt you and now wonders why you have not forgotten, even though you have clearly forgiven, you are allowed to tell them the truth. Forgetting was never on the menu. Forgiveness was the whole gift. It is the only part that was ever yours to give. We make videos about the patterns underneath being human. Why we love the way we love. Why we remember the way we remember. Why the same rules that run one heart also run whole nations. Because when you understand the pattern, you stop being so hard on yourself. If someone came to your mind while watching this, someone you forgave but still remember, that is not a wound. That is just proof it mattered. Humanity Compass.